Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People, telling you the truth is what I do. Here to talk about Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Let me first absolutely say this before I talk about what has happened, which you can see in the headlines. My feelings are about the team's success. That's what I'm talking about. That's me, and my thoughts on Bryce Young as a person is fine. This is merely just what you're about to hear. It's me talking about my feelings about the team. You hear people saying, let's talk about what's best for the team. Because normally, I really am very slow to be like heavily critical on people. And I have been slow to be heavily critical on Bryce. Even talking like, I've been kind of giving you guys hints that I want to say more. Going back to before the New Orleans game, I believe this guy's name was Mario on the flight. He pulled me to say, hey, let's talk about Bryce. And I told him. Anyway, so all that you're about to hear is nowhere near a reflection on my thoughts on Bryce Young as a person. I don't wish him any bad. I still think he's a great person. I still hope that he can succeed. And all of that stuff. Strictly what I'm about to say and the emotion that you're about to hear from me is just on the business of football and being a good football team. With that being said, here we go. Yes, yes, yes. The Carolina Panthers have decided to bench Bryce Young in favor of Andy Dalton. I repeat, it's about 20 minutes old right now. It's 2:22. The Carolina Panthers are about to be holding a press conference, so there will be some more information, some details. So I'm going to also plug the channel, right? Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. I will be live again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go into the detail of what head coach Dave Canales is going to say, what players have been saying. And the show's interactive. I want to hear from you guys. So there's a link already in the description for anybody that wants to come on, and you guys are invited to come on and tell me how you feel about this change with Andy Dalton. I had to grab my earpiece. With Andy Dalton becoming your quarterback. Because, listen, here's why I was becoming emphatic about it. And here's my tweet from this morning. I'm going to read you my tweet from this morning. And just let you guys know this was I'm a really calm, patient guy, and this, for me, has just gotten me. Like, when you cover this team, like, I know you as fans are upset, have been upset, right? But as a member of the media, it's like my job to every day watch, every game watch, every practice watch, training camp all last year, every day down in Spartanburg, training camp here. And you watch, and you watch, and you watch. And then you see a game, and you see, and it's like, this is the same. Fans only have to watch it on Sunday. Media members, we have to watch this thing pretty much daily. And so, for me, and I see we got one person that's come on, so I'm going to let you on in just a second once I get through a little bit of this. But yeah, this show right now is all about, I want to hear from y'all on how you feel. Let me get maybe 2 minutes, Charles, to get through my thing. And then everybody that's watching, hopefully a lot of you are live, where you need to go in the bathroom at the job, step out, please do so. I'm trying to get my earpiece ready. But I put a tweet out there this morning, and it says this. My tweet, last week, Bryce Young had 6 pass attempts of 20 yards. I'm not even talking about completions, just pass attempts. I didn't care whether or not 6 last week. This week, it's back to the no deep shots, just like last year. We have a new coach, new head coach. We have a new offensive coordinator. We have a new quarterbacks coach. How in the world did we go exactly back to what we had last year? In addition to the coaching staff, people that's getting this guy right, I'm going to have to switch headsets. We got new offensive linemen that we done paid a whole lot of money for. We got Deontay Johnson, that's everybody's been excited about what he can do and how fast he is and how much separation we can get. We got Xavier Legette. We got a whole lot of new stuff. And man, it's crazy that one single thing keeps happening, and that's Bryce Young. So I'll say the rest of my rant for later. I'm just happy, not for Bryce, but I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for the fans, and I'm happy for me because I have felt that getting a new quarterback in here is what we needed to do. And we got another person to sign up. I'm trying to find my plug-in. There we go. So one more second, guys. I'm going to start bringing the people in that's patiently waiting. I said in our pregame show yesterday that, hey, ask my other people, what's the criteria for Bryce to be benched? I feel like they need to be thinking about that. Post-game, I felt like a 10-minute rant that each week plans are made, coaches talk with the quarterback, and Bryce Young said I want to throw. Anyway, that's it. I'm just happy. Andy Dalton last year, his passer chart, you guys, I can't bring it up. He started against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, we ultimately lost that game. But guess what? It was an entertaining game to watch. It was not an entertaining game the other day. All right, I got lots of you all that are calling in. So I'm done my rant. Again, I will be live again tonight once Coach Canales speaks, who's probably speaking about now. And we'll go into a lot more stuff. Let me go ahead and go to Charles first. I got Shaked waiting, and I think Doug. So if y'all could hold on for me, that'd be great. Let's see. Charles.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Talk to me, man. How you feel? Appreciate you joining me.
First off, good to meet you, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak on your platform. But
Absolutely.
like I know, it's a lot to unpack with this to begin with. When we gave up DJ Moore, it was a problem already for me. We brought in an undersized quarterback with no experience, and you give away your best receiver, and you expect him to do well. First red flag. So the coaching staff, that's a whole nother thing. We all saw that. That's another thing. So my thing from the jump when we got Andy Dalton, my thing was let Andy lose the job. Let Bryce sit back. Let Bryce sit back and learn some stuff. You know what I mean? Figure out the nuances of the game. Learn something. Jordan Love, learn something. Sit back and learn. Wait a minute. But they were such in a rush to push that boy out there, and he was never ready. He was never ready. We are a franchise that needed to rebuild. I've been here since 95. I've been a fan from the beginning. So I'm not a bandwagoner. I didn't get here in 2015. I've been here since 1995. Since I was a little boy. So I see all of these people, the quarterbacks we had come and go.
Blankety blank man right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I've been here a long time, man. So my biggest thing was let Andy lose the job. If he lose the job, cool. Put Bryce in there. At this point, Bryce has earned his chance. Bryce he did anything. He didn't do anything to earn the job to begin with, not in my opinion. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but Alabama quarterbacks do not translate well to the NFL. Take a look. Just go back and look. Go back and look. We got 2 exceptions to that rule. But the rest of them are out here commentating right now. So we took a big risk, and we didn't get nothing out of it. And we have Andy Dalton here, who is a grown man, who has won games, who has won playoff games, who has done well, and we set him on the bench. If we kept Bryce in, we were going to continue to lose games. Dave Canales did this because his job is on the line. That's the truth.
I don't even care why, because, I had someone say, hey, I think Tepper, I honestly am so disgusted, sick and tired of what I was saying. I don't care if it was the janitor that flipped the note and got something twisted to get this to happen, right? It needed to happen. Let me ask you one other question, because we got some other callers waiting, but I want to try to give everybody about 3 minutes. What do you feel like Andy should be the quarterback, or what do you feel like should be the next step now that we have Andy Dalton starting just this week?
Andy needs to keep the job. Bryce ain't going to give you no wins. We've seen that. We gave him all of last year. He won twice. We had played better when Andy was in the game. It feels different. As a guy who played the game, it feels different when your quarterback comes into the huddle and he's confident and he's got everything and you believe him. When Bryce Young get mad, I don't believe
it. Yeah.
You can't expect grown men to believe that either. So that's all I'm saying with that.
I'm gonna try to show you a picture real quick before we get off of here, and see if you think this is a very storytelling picture. This was Bryce before the game.
Right.
Let me put this before. And then this was Bryce. Here we go. It's coming. It's coming during the game.
Yeah, that's normally how he looks.
Just looking up at
And
the
that's the face we
scoreboard,
tied.
walking
That's the
off.
face we tied the hand. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, what you looking at that scoreboard for, man? Ain't nothing up there. It don't matter how many times you stare at it. It's not gonna change what you just did.
Hey, that's what I said. Like, oh, if you try to look at the replay, if you try and double, like, there's nothing to double check of anything. It's
Mm-mm.
just awful. Get
No,
off the field. But
it's
again,
you.
in
It's just you.
my emotion is not like I don't like Bryce. I think he's a bad person. Scrub this. Not that's not where my energy is coming from. My energy is coming from somebody who wants to see a better product out there, and I hope that he can
I
get
agree.
better and all. I think
I
most
agree.
people feel like that. It ain't like, oh, I can't stand you, Bryce Young. It's Bryce Young QB1 between those white lines is what I don't like right now. Any part comments, man? I appreciate you coming on.
I agree.
Hey, thank you so much. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll be back on tonight to further dissect
No, I
this.
appreciate you, Chris, man.
All right, have a good one. All right, so again, I'm going to try to get through everybody. Hopefully you guys will continue to call. This show is dedicated towards you guys calling and telling me how you feel. All right, so if you're out there, you got an opinion, cell phone, whatever you got that's connected to the internet, just come on. So let's hear you. Sedo
What's up, my guy?
patiently waited for me. I appreciate you waiting so you can come on and talk to me because I want to know how you feeling, man.
I mean, you already see. Look. I tell people this. First, it was a pleasure, seeing you face to face when we were in New Orleans. We chopped it up a little bit, but that
You was
game
trying to
was
mess up my show, man.
legendary.
You was trying to mess up.
No,
Tell him what you was really trying to do. I'm out there being a one-man game, trying to get all this stuff going and headphones and cords. And he like, hey, nah, you good. Go ahead.
look. Hey, I'll be honest. I was waiting for you to be like, "Hey, C Doug, go ahead and jump down and tell the people how you feel." I was waiting for you to say that because Vashtop was like, "You see Chris?" I was like, "Yeah, I said I'm gonna see Chris go to now." Be like, "Hey, can he come down real quick?" Because I was close enough. I had to jump over the bench. So, but
Hey,
nah, man,
if I
I
had
would
them kind of
say
powers, man, I'd bring you down.
I would say this. I have a mixed feel on how fans, media outlets, like even CNN's talking about it now. Um, for me, Br- Bryce Young broke the Panthers, but the Panthers broke Bryce Young. And what I mean by that is when you have a coach that didn't have a scheme fit for him and you just threw him out to the Wolves and you didn't actually help his confidence from the jump, it's showing now. And it's almost like, the saying that we said when Sam Darnold was our quarterback. Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Bryce Young has seen every ghost that's there, that's visible, ones that are behind him, everything. It's like his composure, his demeanor, and his play is not translating over to what people possibly thought he had a great offseason going into the season. And when you sit there and see a defender coming right at you, you don't throw the ball away and you just freeze and take a sack when Perriman hit him, something mentally is not there. So, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not, I'm going to be real transparent in my reporting because I want you guys to trust me and continue to follow me, which, it's been great. I think a lot of people do. Oh, did I lose you? Okay.
No,
And
I'm here.
I have been noticing things like detailed on a quarterback's decision. I'm like, man, I'm not even a quarterback whisperer. I don't even go look at all the guys' mechanics, heel toe, and all this stuff. But even yesterday, I'm like, okay, it's 3rd and 5. You got out the pocket, which is good, to scramble, give yourself some more time. You didn't see anything, and you took a sack when we were not really right at field goal range, but we were
Facts.
kind of at the cusp. You might try to think about it, or it might give us an opportunity to go for it on 4th. Bryce, everybody talks about how cerebral and smart you are. You should have known all this stuff in your head and said, the last thing I can do is take a sack right here because I need to keep some momentum going for my team. And he didn't. I mean, it was just so many things. But yeah, you're right.
And when you look at it, everything that they did, they bolstered the offensive line. Um, they brought in different weapons. You bring in a scheme that's easy to understand. But I'm gonna put this point out here. If Andy Dalton doesn't look any better with him being a veteran, is it Dave Canales?
I'm not even
Now,
going to
now,
let you
now
go
it's
there.
almost gonna be.
You know why I'm not gonna
No,
let you
but
go
no, I
there?
understand it. I understand that. But I'm saying let's be honest though, Chris, because now it's a rinse and repeat. Now we're supposed to be shouting for another quarterback because Andy Dalton is not your quarterback of the future. But now it just says we like you said the Seattle game where we saw a different offense underneath a different quarterback and the ball was moving down the field. But I know how people are saying, "Oh, Bryce is missing opportunities." Me and you both saw it week one when I was there. He was overthrowing balls that wide receivers were wide open.
Listen, the reason I'm not gonna let you go there with Andy Dalton, I'm not gonna say technically it's not possible for Andy to come in there, but I'm just gonna be like, I'm not a betting man, but I want to say odds are like 1 in 99 that he's gonna be like Bryce. Hopefully, I said that right with my
Oh no,
odds.
no,
But
I wasn't saying that. No, no,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. I feel like not that Andy's about to come in here and be the savior. I'm not putting any kind of thoughts on that part, like how many wins we're going to, but I know we're going to have a better product out there where we may have a chance to win the game. It may be entertaining through 3 quarters. I do feel like he can win some games. I can't easily show it here on the screen. Maybe I could, but I don't want to mess up. So I'm looking at right now the chart last year when Andy started in Seattle. And I'm not going to get into like the diehards might want to be like, oh, the scheme was this, or the play was this, and the score was this. Like, forget all that. This man threw the ball 33 times. Oh, hold on, let me get the screen right. 58 times is how many times he threw it. He completed 34 passes. He threw for 361 yards,
Yep. Yep.
2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He threw the ball like 30 yards. And he wasn't throwing bombs, but him
Yeah.
15 to 30 yards is all he did. Bryce doesn't even go beyond 15 yards. That's what angers me. He does not go beyond
3 yards. Chris, he's averaging 3 yards per attempt.
Yeah, it was 3.2 yesterday. That doesn't give you any opportunity to win a game at all. But we about at the mark, man. I'll let you give one closing comment,
Go
and then
ahead,
I want to
man.
get to some of these other people that are patiently holding. Anything?
Yes,
Any
sir.
closing
You already know where to
remarks?
find me at, man. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So we're gonna continue to move on. All right. A lot of passion that I have because I do like this Panthers team. Now, when I'm reporting, and I objectionably do so. But I do wish that these guys would win and do something. And I'm just glad for the team, man, that there's a change. I'm glad for the fans that there's a change. I feel like I'm about to see something different when I go out to Vegas now. But again, this show's about you guys calling in. Just want to hear some reactions, comments, questions, criticism, whatever you may have. So please, there's a link that's in the description. I'm going to also put it in the comments for everybody out there. So give me just 1 second to do that. And this will allow you to come on the show and ask your questions. So boom, let me do that. And then let me pin this comment real quick so everybody can easily see how to come on the show. And again, Dave Canales right now is speaking to the media, so I'm not going to comment on what Dave is saying. And I think I got 2 people waiting, so you guys that are waiting, please give me just a second, and I'll be able to put you on the show. Trying to get everything going here, making this comment so that people can easily see. All right, so I just pinned this comment into the messages so people on YouTube can easily see that. Twitter and Facebook, you may have to pop over to YouTube. Might be easier for you to do that to join the show, even though that link will get you there from anywhere. All right, so I'm gonna get you guys to hold for just one more second because I got to do this. There we go.
Super chat.
There we go. We got a super chat that I got to acknowledge, and then I'm going to get right to the callers that are waiting. First and foremost, we are an independent media outlet, 100% supported and funded by viewers. So anytime that you all are able to do a super chat, become a member, it just 100% goes right back into me being able to go to a game to cover for the additional staff that we have, all the stuff that we do, funded 100% by you guys. So always sincerely appreciate anytime that you're able to do that. So Panthers Kingdom podcast. Bryce isn't going anywhere for a while, but hopefully he can learn from being a backup. I don't think he's a bust, but he's not ready to start. So, hey, there's many ways this pie could be cut, but I'm glad we made the first slice, which is saying step to the side. Really, really appreciate you, man. Hopefully you'll come back on some more. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let's go ahead and get Shaq in the car. Patiently waiting for me in the car. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Raining in Charlotte today, so the mood of the team.
Yeah. Very good. You on the clock. You got 4 minutes, man. Go for it. Let's talk.
I think it's the right move, but I think the problem with Bryce is too young of a guy on the field. He's a great person off the field, but he's also too nice of a guy on the field, meaning he's not willing to take chance. I mean, look at Alabama. He was a running quarterback. He was mobile. Look in the NFL. Is he running with the ball? He's not. And I also think he's overcomplicating. Like on the first play that he took a sack, all he had to do was throw the ball away. And we have a chance for a field goal. But instead, you hold on to the ball, I believe, probably 10 seconds, maybe more. So I agree with the super chat person that he's not a bust, but at the same time, he's not a good quarterback. And right now, he should sit, watch Andy Dalton play, and maybe he can improve, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, we are stuck with them. Because it's not like they can cut him in off-season because they are going to own him a lot of money. So it's a catch-22. You want him to play well. At the same time, he's basically aggravating the fan base, and I'm sure in the locker room, even though the players are saying all the nice things privately, they all probably very aggravated with his play, which is very frustrating because, as you rightly say, he's a great guy.
And I think we all want to say that because it's like, you feel bad for him, right? So you don't want to be like, oh, I hate Bryce Young, the person. But when Thielen had his moment yesterday on the sideline, he's talking to the media, you can tell like he's probably conflicted, saying, man, I was really pissed off, but he's my starting quarterback, so I want to try to lift him up, because one of the things that Canales said was like, I forget the exact words, but he's like, we all have to support Bryce. We have to be around him and have this environment. But you feel like he should be tabled and then come back, or you feel like what do you feel like should happen for the rest of the year with Andy as a starter?
Andy is too old. He's too old NFL standards to be a franchise quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he's 35, 36 years old. So he's not the savior for this team.
Well, just for this season, I'm asking, what do you feel how this season should play out with the quarterback situation?
I think Bryce should be benched for a couple of games and then see what he can do, because like I said, they cannot give up on him. But my biggest concern yesterday in the game, they threw very short passes. I'm not sure if that was designed by the playbook or Bryce not have confidence in his offensive line protecting him, because, 79 have been tough on him, but overall, they've done pretty good job. But the passes yesterday, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, when you're supposed to go deeper, like on the last drive, it was like 3rd and 15 and 5-yard pass, which is unacceptable.
Yeah. Did you have anything else before I let you go?
The defense. I mean, I know Bryce is not playing good, but we have to talk about the defense, allowing, I believe, 195 rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was over 200. I'm going to look super quick, but go ahead with your point, and I'll verify that before you get off.
So, Evero is very lucky I'm not David Tepper, because if I was, second year in a row, they cannot stop the run. I bet Chris, you would easily be able to run for 5, 6, 7 yards. The bottom line, they're professionally athletes. They have to do a better job against the run. No excuse.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll see you again. I will be live again tonight to go over this some more. You guys will have more time to talk with me. But let me to his point with Bryce Young. I feel like I'm just in this moment a lot for right now that I'm just so happy. But I do say this: Bryce Young is on a rookie contract. We can keep him around if we can bring Miles Sanders back on his contract for another year to see if he works out. Then yeah, I'm not saying we need to give up on Bryce Young at this point. He's on a very friendly rookie contract, and if you can get him back and you can get those Alabama traits from college translating into the NFL, that's a win. Let me touch on this. I got it on the screen now. This is Bryce Young's passing chart from yesterday. I want you guys to see this, and this is where a lot of my frustration has been coming from. I said this yesterday on our post-game show that there needs to be some kind of plan for taking Bryce out to let him heal, and then we can figure out when to reinsert him. Look at this chart. His deepest pass might have been 12 yards. 12 yards. This was a complete reversion back to, because I put these charts out there every single week last year, probably starting about like week 4 or so. Andy Dalton started one game for us last year. Let me show you his passing chart. We lost this game, but it was so much like watching an actual football game. Almost 60 pass attempts. This was the same coach. And then look at the passes. Look at the attempts of where they're going. 20. Anyway, I want to get to you guys. We got you all patiently waiting. I think Willie, what happened to you? I'm about to bring you on. I'm gonna give you a few moments. I don't see your video, your camera, Willie. Let's see.
Okay.
Willie, are you there? I hear your voice.
I'm here.
You're not able to get
Let's
that
see.
camera going?
All right.
And
Hold on, I'm
then
trying to get my.
yeah, then I got Eddie and Quinton waiting. And so if you guys, Eddie and Quinton, can continue to wait, that'll be, well, okay, he's going to the back of the line now because he just went off. So, Eddie.
How
You
you
look
doing,
well
man? How you
educated there,
doing?
man. I see all them degrees on the wall behind you. I'm talking to a well educated dude. All
I
right.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. You know, just out here just finishing up my day, writing my notes and things. But nah, it was I think this is the writing on the wall for Bryce. You know, it was a lot of talk yesterday about, what is the plan moving forward for Bryce, or, do you sit him? And I was actually in the camp of letting him play it out, because it was kind of like, what do you have to really lose? Because as we know, we're in a league where all these other teams have GMs, head coaches, owners, even QB coaches who are like, I can fix that. I can fix that. So I still think there's a chance that, Bryce could get traded by the end of the season. I think my thought is, what do you get back for Bryce? But, I'm looking forward to seeing how Andy plays in a Canales system on Sunday.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think for a lot of people, what happened was, at the beginning, I was like, man, this is bad, but I can't say definitively until maybe 4 games in, I'll start to have a really strong feeling. But I started having it yesterday after game 2 because I feel like the biggest shock, and this is just for me in the media, but go ahead and speak as a fan, is like you could not have imagined that it would be another game where it got even worse and just looked absolutely like no hope at all. Like we were all just thinking like, oh, what if he just comes out and throws, I don't know, anything regular. So what do you feel as a fan in terms of where we are right now?
As a fan, it is definitely on the rougher side of trying to figure out, it's the whole finding the quarterback. As we know, Tepper's been real big on, having quarterback equity in the league. You remember him saying that, right? It might have been around Teddy Bridgewater time. But, it's about, still taking that time to, if you don't have your quarterback, you need to go out and keep finding them. Like you can just keep, recycling and keep trying to find that quarterback. So, I mean, they thought it was Bryce. spent a lot of money thinking it was Bryce, and now we have our number one overall draft pick last year. Going to be sitting on a bench for this game, and I mean, honestly, I mean, I guess question for you: Andy has a, if Andy pulls out a win, let's not say even a win. If Andy has a, let's say a game like last year with Seattle.
Hey man, you can just look at the screen right now and know what my answer is going to be. But go ahead and get your question again.
If Andy has a game like Seattle, but they still lose, would you still be like, maybe this isn't what it is, or would you be like, Andy deserves another game to try to do his thing?
So you telling me that if Andy does something this week that Bryce Young has only done one time in the past 9 games, which is to throw a touchdown, how would I feel?
I guess, or would you?
One time in the past 9 games has Bryce Young thrown a touchdown, and you're asking me if Andy throws 2 this Sunday and we lose, how do I feel? Hey man, excited. I feel like I finally watched. I feel like I actually watched a football game, and not just like somebody getting just, their business handed to them. Yeah, I would be excited, man. I feel like there's a lot of other questions that we, can overanalyze about this particular piece or that particular piece, but I think what we will see is no doubt removing Bryce was a piece that we needed to in order to start going in a more positive direction. Still, there could be other changes needed, other things, but we'll be able to watch a competitive football game this Sunday.
And that's definitely the hope. So it's going to be interesting to see what this team looks like Sunday and the rest of the season.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the interesting thing. But hey, I'll hang up. I know you got some other people on the line, but nice talking to you, man of the people.
Likewise, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. So again, everybody that has been waiting, I appreciate you waiting. I want to give you guys more than like 30 seconds because this is the internet. I own the show. I own the time. We can go as long as I want to go, but trying to give everybody about 3 to 5 minutes. So, Quinton, I'm excited to talk to you because you haven't been on here in a minute. But let me just take a second for all that are watching. We are independent media. The larger we grow, the more that we can do. So please hit that like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel. I go by Man of the People as a nickname. I talk to players all the time. I talk to coaches. I travel with the team. Credential, I'm your guy. You have a friend in the media, which is me, questions that you may have. So I hope that you will consider to do that. Let me go right now to my man that I hadn't seen in a while. Uh-oh, he crying. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I got you, man. I got you. I got a few sound effects. Hey, man.
Guys, first 5 right here. First 5 member I am.
You are. You are.
I'm not gonna be long, Chris. I'm not gonna take all my time. I just want to get on here and vent. Maybe it'll help with my healing a little bit. But I
Yeah.
want to say on that sack yesterday, starting with the sack. I got to start from there. I didn't like Suba's effort on that sack. If you look, because he was part of the block that came through, the block that Suba couldn't hold him, but Bryce was looking for him immediately to dump it off to him for a split second. Then Bryce kept working his way to the side. Suba was jogging like perpendicular to him and not really giving effort to make it to the sideline and get into his view. I didn't like that. I
Okay.
did like Miles Sanders sighting. He looked a little hungry. You could tell from having somebody fill on the sideline a little bit. It puts a little hunger in that belly, makes you run a little bit harder. So saw that, and I want to go back to something interesting that was hitting me yesterday. When the training camp was going on, Clowney gave his thoughts on Bryce, and I didn't like it at the time. He
Who?
said, Clowney,
Okay.
Jadavion, he said, I like Bryce, but he's a little bit too quiet. He's supposed to be the leader. Do you remember when he said that? He's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to be a little bit more boisterous. That was earlier. I felt like that yesterday. And I don't know if you were watching the game, you saw when Bryce went over, and it seemed like he asked Taylor Moton a question, and Taylor gave him his face like, "What are you talking about?" Like that was, I don't know if everybody caught that, but I saw it, and it was a little bit of heated conversation kind of going back and forth with those guys. I don't like Bryce's demeanor, and I know some people have that nervous tick, when they're ashamed or embarrassed. Sometimes they smile kind of, but sometimes that makes people more angry, and that's how it made me feel yesterday. Even the little tap on the helmet for Canellis when he came over there. I want a little bit of fire. We can't call on him like they said. Um, Another point for defense, Shaq Thompson has to wrap up on tackles. It's been the past couple of years, he'll come in with the big hit or the forearm and then miss the tackle. And I've seen it a few times, and I just want to bring on that. Um, one last point, Bradley Bozeman, Hayden Hurst, they should not be having smiley faces after the games, after leaving us. So that's something we got to kick that in butt like right now. Keep pounding. I'm here for it, man of the people. Shout out Andre. Take care. I'll talk to you soon, Chris. Thank you for everything, and keep pounding.
Hey, so great to see you, man. Thanks for your support, sincerely. So, a few things you talked about Shaq Thompson. I think he was a little extra critical. Shaq did lead yesterday with 14 tackles. He had 10, I believe, in the opener. So he's a tackling machine right now. But I guess there's a player too that he could have done some more wrapping up. But I know guys do go to give him that flipper to try to make it a big hit. And then in terms of the demeanor of Bryce Young. Now I know how it could rub people the wrong way, especially when you have been losing so many games. But I don't think his personality needs to be different because a lot of these guys will flip a switch when they get on that field and have a different mentality. There's no way you could make it to the NFL and get drafted, make it through training camp and all this really physical, brutal stuff if you're not able to have a certain kind of mentality and way that you are between those white lines. So I think he has, even though he's a soft personality when he's in the media, he doesn't have to necessarily have to be barking when he's out there, but he's a competitor. Now, but it's not working out. And I certainly can see, like, man, some people want to see frustration and aggression when things aren't working out. But yeah, Hayden Hurst, Bozeman, you leave the Panthers, typically you'll have some success. So nevertheless, we're going to keep on moving. We got some people waiting. Thank you. We're about to go to Tyler, and then I see Willie that's sitting there waiting. And give me just a second to get myself together. And we're going to go to you guys. And anybody else that's out there watching, we'll probably stay live for maybe another 15 minutes. I want to hear from you guys. Oh, he talked about the Taylor Moden and coach. So on Sundays, I'm in the press box. They do have TVs up there, but for the most part, I'm just watching all the action live at the game through the press box, not watching the broadcast to see some of the camera angles and interaction with other players that you guys may see. Not until the day after. I will go back, watch film, and also watch the broadcast tape to see some things there. So not able to comment on some of those things that he talked about, but I can believe it, And one other thing, because we were talking about the personality of Bryce being nice. Adam Thielen was talking to the media in the locker room yesterday, and he just talked about himself like, hey, he's learned you can't play this game and not flip a switch when you're out there on the field. And he's a person that flips that switch. And you listen to or watch Adam's interviews. I actually spoke with Adam. Let me see if I have the clip right now. I think I had the clip. So yeah, just for 2 seconds, watch and listen to the demeanor of Adam Thielen I was talking with him the other day. This week of practice, I know we got one more day. What's been you guys' emphasis? I know that game this past Sunday, we're throwing that away, but there's some things we want to work on. What has been the emphasis for you guys this week?
Yeah, I think just an urgency in the deep.
What has that been like? What has that been like from the coach's perspective for you guys? Anyway, I didn't want to play that too much, but that same tone of just like being relaxed, cool, dude, I feel like I could talk to Adam Thielen for 20 minutes in the locker room. It's the same kind of thing with Bryce, but you see how he exploded yesterday in anger when he was on the field. Anyway, we're going to keep it moving. Tyler, you ready? He looks like he's ready. He turned his head. Here we go. What's going on, man? How you doing? I'm not hearing you, sir. I don't know if you have a mute button going. I see the mouth moving. Say something for me now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Well, I said as good as you could possibly feel coming in off of that Sunday, but today was a little bit of hope. And I want to, I was saying the same thing before you said it, which was Andy Dalton last year. I was actually at that game at Seattle. I traveled to go see the Panthers last year, and I noticed
Bless
that
your
our
heart.
app.
Bless you. Let me ask, because I'm gonna give you an extra minute here. I hadn't even started the clock on you. One of the things I've been thinking about is, man, because this Las Vegas is one of the more expensive trips to go on, right? So I'm like, for the people that actually, I'm lucky enough that I don't have to actually pay for my entry ticket, but I still have the other cost involved of getting to the game. So as a fan, when you spend airline, hotel, maybe a car rental, a freaking, I'm sure, super expensive ticket, like, are you not pulling your hair out about this is not a good investment?
Yeah, and I'm also a season ticket holder, right? I'm a PSL owner, so I feel it even double. So yeah, when you travel and you make those trips to Seattle, it hurts. And competence is the one thing you want to see when you make those trips, right? Competitive football and competence is like where we get on those trips.
Terrible. But I'm sorry, I T-boned you there. Go ahead with your comments for everything.
No, absolutely. I thought last year when Andy played, one of the differences that we got to see was we got to see our offense stretch the field. And I think that's been one thing that we had forgotten and not being able to see. When Andy was coming in yesterday, you put up a stat just a little bit ago showing like the average depth of target. Yeah, that chart. And I feel like that's what we're going to see against the Raiders. I think that's will give us a chance to evaluate Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen. You can see that we're working the sidelines, and I feel like Andy has had the time in the league for us to be able to get a look at Dave Canales' offense and give us a chance to really evaluate the other players we've brought in. Yesterday we saw Xavier Legette come out or Xavier Legette. And I saw a lot of blocking out of him, but I didn't get to see 15-yard in catches and being able to use his size. That's something that I think we're going to get out of Andy, and I think that's going to be a big thing. Is we're just going to get a chance to see other players play. And I think we understand what we're getting with Andy. He's someone that's in the league, comes in as a good backup, has experience, and understands what open is in the NFL. And I think that'll be a big, refreshing thing coming up this Sunday that we'll see.
I'm going to kind of steal a question that was asked to me. Do you feel like if Andy plays well but we lose, what do you feel if that happens?
We invested in Bryce Young. So having him sit down, we have plenty of good examples in the NFL where we set quarterbacks behind veterans for a little bit of time and good things show. We see that out of Jordan Love. We see that out of Aaron Rodgers. We've seen that across the league. Bryce, we've invested into Bryce. So setting him down, letting him build some confidence back up. He is young. I think a lot of people forget he's still in his 20s, right? He's still a very young, athlete. So giving him some chance to build confidence. I don't think whatever happens Sunday, determines where we go on a week by week basis. I think give Andy a few, games, give him, 3 or 4 games to get the offense going, build the team up and let the team get some chemistry. Andy, one thing I think we're going to see out of Andy's going to mess up. He's going to throw a pick. We're going to see the red rifle, do something that we're not happy with, but I think we give Dave Canales a chance to work with Bryce and get him going. We've invested in this quarterback. I don't think we're going to ship him off. So if Andy loses on Saturday or on Sunday, if we look competent and Andy's throwing a pick on an 80-yard deep ball, I'm okay with that. If we're showing life. And I think that's we're as a fan base, as a fan, as someone that watches your show and many others throughout the week, I just want to see us go out and play football and look competent like we're in there. We don't need the Saints 40 points on everyone right now. We just need a chance to see some life in the Panthers and some hope. Ted Lasso, they had a show that said the hopes that kill, or it's the hope that kills you. And I tried not to let that, seep in. So I think, Andy's going to give us some hope back and give us a chance to look at the rest of the offense.
Hey, if he gives us one touchdown, he will do more than he will have equaled the performance of Bryce Young over 9 weeks.
Yeah, agreed. I think we'll see, an uptick, and I think you'll get to see some of the veterans come out on that. So don't give up on Bryce. I think, him sitting down, getting some time, and I tell the fan base that we've put a lot into him. And I think, he has the grind to come back and be better. But I think we'll get a chance to see some of our receivers. But I appreciate what you do. I always love tuning in to, everything that you bring on. So again, appreciate you covering and doing that as an independent.
Hey, thank you so much, and kudos to you for your setup there. I see that that's a little professional. I'm not gonna, nerd out, but I know what kind of setup you got going on over there, and I'm kind of jealous. I don't have that at my little mobile studio right now, but good job with your setup.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you again. Keep pounding.
All right, keep pounding, boss. All right. Here we go. So, yeah, as you know, I'm excited. Here's Bryce before the game. Here's Bryce during the game, and it's been hard for me, man, covering this team and seeing Bryce so many times, going to a game, being up close as we get to do with the media. Very privileged for the job that I have, but I have never seen Bryce be what he was in Alabama, and I have been slow to really scream that to you all because I'm like, oh well, he's young. Like I know that it may take a year. There's so many examples about quarterbacks and taking some time, and Trevor Lawrence, Peyton Manning, all this stuff, and I just kind of like, well, we'll see. I get the guy a year, but I just got, I got triggered when I saw the performance yesterday after the week 1 performance of just like going crazy. So, nevertheless, I think I got one more person here, Willie, to bring on. I'll get into the comments for a moment too if people stop calling in, but this show is a call-in show. So there's a link that has been pinned in the description or in the comments. It's also in the description. If you want to come on the show, frustrations or whatever you may have, and let me know. And I will be live again tonight. Dave Canales has already spoken to the media at this point, and I'll rehash that. Also, let me go back because I forgot some things here. So here we go. One of my faithful
Super Chat.
Can you do a live chat on the show later? I'm driving and I don't have my headset. Yes, Knucklehead K. I will have my regularly scheduled 7 p.m. day after show, and you can park, you can drive, you can come on. Nevertheless. And then we got another one here.
Super Chat.
From Quinton. Support. Yeah, your support's needed. Your support's welcome. I love doing what I do. I love being a resource for all of you. I think it's pretty cool to be able to have somebody that's successful in the media to talk to answer questions, and to talk football. And that's what I aim to do. And you guys seem to like it. And that is what I'm going to continue to do. Willie, I still don't see your camera. I got one person that's in the waiting room that looks like they want to come on, and I'm going to give you another moment or so to come on before I move on. While I'm waiting for Willie to turn the camera on, I'm going to check a few of the comments. Got to give shouts out to all of my members. We got Knucklehead K, member that's in here, Shackhead, member, Chris Mack. Let me go ahead and touch on Chris Mack. Does that mean Bryce is done with the Panthers? What's your thoughts? So, no, Chris, I don't feel like this automatically means Bryce is done. Like, I forget the caller's name, the previous caller just said, Andy's 36. Andy's here for a backup. Andy is about to really be the epitome of his role. Come in, give us a breather. We're going to sit Bryce, and then we'll regroup. Now, this just happened. I don't have strong opinions over, like, should we get rid of Bryce? Can we trade Bryce? I don't, I feel like trading Bryce at this point would be one of those you're not going to get much, because I know that I, as in somebody on the team, knows that he's bad. You don't have a lot of good stats and things to dangle over my head to say, oh, I should give Bryce, you guys, all this for Bryce. He hasn't proven anything yet. So he's also on a rookie contract. Now, that means he got a good rookie contract because he's a first-round pick. But he's getting paid nowhere near what a free agent quarterback in this league would get. Financially, you're looking at tons of money. So I feel like for that reason, you can definitely keep him and continue to try to give him another chance to develop into a good quarterback for us. Continuing on through here, I'm going to give Willie another chance to come on but I want to shout out all of my members. Ali Bodrick, what's going on? Hey Chris, I think this will be a good reset for Bryce. I seen the difference last year when Andy played. I think he lost the locker room. I don't. That he lost the locker room. I like that question there. I like that question. I like that statement. I'm gonna have to think on that one. Again, I'll be back again live tonight, so we'll go ahead and process that a little bit more. A few more comments here. Willie, I see you back on. I don't see your camera yet. I will try to bring you back on and see if that helps. But I'm going to take another second to make sure I give a shout out to all my members that have left a comment, that support the channel. Anytime that you can support, we really, really appreciate it. And I think that covers all the members that had left a chat. So I'm going to try to get Willie on. Willie, what's going on?
I don't know. Maybe I just have a face for radio instead of TV.
That's all right. We'll try to work through it, man. What's going on? Talk to me, Willie.
Okay, I just wanted to once again thank you for a great job you're doing. I love Carolina Vibes. It's one of the podcasts that gives some good content. I really love the access you have. So
Thank you,
with
sir.
Bryce being benched, I don't have a problem with it. My whole thing is when I came into the season, team alignment and competitive football was what I was looking for, and that was what Coach Canales was talking about. And I think with Canales being a rookie coach, play calling has been kind of in development, and so I'm looking at this year as we have a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, because I think that Bryce Young is a redshirt rookie quarterback, and he's not used to losing. So him coming in this program and him having that season he had last year and things going like it's going right now, I think it is affecting him. But I think he is competitive enough that maybe sitting down behind Andy Dalton would probably be good for him. And we'll see how it goes. But the thing I would like to relay to our fans, that Bryce Young is the quarterback that we have. We can look at the draft next year, but I think it's kind of futile because we got 15 more games to go. So Bryce is what we have. Let us cheer on this team with what we currently have and see how things develop. This pre-draft analysis just rubs me the wrong way, because I think it takes away from the team as a whole, from as a fan, for myself personally.
Uh-huh.
But I think we're 2 games into it. I think we have I'm just looking for some competitive football. Maybe Dalton can do it, and maybe it'll help Canales in his play calling. That's pretty much it, Dirty.
A few quick questions for you. Again, appreciate you coming on and taking the time out today to join me. Do you have any thoughts on, well, how long should Andy start and Bryce sit? Any thoughts on that?
I'm just going to let the team do it. I mean, I think with Canales, with Bryce, I think him watching Andy Dalton will probably be a benefit to him. When he's brought back, I'll leave that up to the team. I'm not going to but if they're competitive with Dalton, I'll just say, well, let's ride with it for a while. But then eventually you have to insert Bryce back into it, and I'm not sure how many games it's going to be.
Okay. Willie, appreciate you taking the time to even try to come back on and support the channel. So hopefully we'll see you again, all right?
Hey, no problem. Thanks a lot, Chris. And once again, great job, and congratulations. And then get a chance to tell you about your new baby, your new addition to the family. I know it's been a while.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's see. We got my son. He turns 3 this Sunday, and then my daughter will be 11 months in about 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You as well. Have a good Monday.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, so we're about to wrap this up. Again, another show tonight. In case you guys miss it, have time in the evening to join me. The show tonight is just like today, dedicated to answering your questions. I will, though, for this evening have a lot more information from Dave Canales and player reaction to this. So far, Dave Canales has declined to say what role David Tepper had in this. Right now, I don't care. I don't care who had a role. I like it, and I think it needs to happen. And Canales is not divulging any details about what went into the decision. So Canales is not talking about what role David Tepper has or what information went into this decision. So I want to add that to the broadcast for you guys right now. Want to go back into, I got to go back into my reporting duties. Like the video, subscribe, tell a friend. The bigger we grow, the more that we can do. I love working for you all. Love being a resource for you. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe.